Hello, so this is a video on installing Toto plates. These plates are the only quad plates that are made specifically to mount to any UFS boot. These are my used ones, so do excuse the mess they're in. They're fantastic plates, fantastic maneuverability. They last a lifetime. Slightly wide trucks for getting good balance, good grinds, and giving just all round really nice feel for carving, going around ramps, and mixing it up between vert and street. It's fantastic plate. This video is purely to show people how easy they are to mount to an inline boot. Now, as these are not standard, some boots do require a little bit of modification. But not anywhere near as much as it would take to drill the new holes to mount skateboard trucks or other existing plates out there. So these are definitely my preferred plate, and this is how to mount them on a UFS inline boot. So here we have my boot of choice. This is my favorite boot. This is a Sabre SX carbon boot, nice and light. Used to be mounted to my inline frames. Used to be mounted to these. So we are now going to put their mounting brackets on to convert them into something else. So let's get a better angle on that video. Much better. So first things we're going to do is align these special mounting brackets. Now, these brackets were made to allow a UFS mounting to a quad plate. They come with the screws that you're going to need to screw in. These screws, I had to cut mine down to fit the Jado boot, which is what they were mounted to before. You may or may not have to cut them down depending on your boot type, but that's quite an easy job to do anyway with a Dremel. So we can get this to complete. So we are just going to get these to line up with the 4 mount holes. Obviously, if you just wanted to bolt these straight onto another boot, you don't need the mounting plates. They're still a fantastic plate for the skate park. Still very good value. Okay, so that actually fits really nice there. So I'm just going to pop it back off for a second, trying not to disturb placement. And I'm just going to make sure these are just super tight without them turning. It's really important because of the way these work that these mounting brackets are really tight into the boot. Really important. Okay, so let's remount those. Alright, so there we go, that's that mounted on. Nice and easy. So now it's a really simple, mildly tedious job of just putting the bolts back on, the nuts back on the bolts, just screwing those on. I couldn't seem to find anything to fit these little nuts. So what I did is I found an 8, was it a 9? It's here somewhere, here it is. So I got a size 9. I found the size 9 to just be a little bit too small. So I just took a little grinder to the inside and just made it a fraction bigger, and it fits perfectly. So I don't know if they are metric. Maybe they're metric. I know they come from the EU tile area, that's where Toto is from, so maybe they still use metric there. But either way, modified a little tool to do it, should be quite easy. There is potentially access for a set, what's it set, the ratchet set, if you took this out. I'm too lazy to do that, so I'm just going to tediously do these up with a spanner instead. That's that one on. Oh, actually I need a washer for that one. That video crept out for a bit, but here I'll just finish off. Here I have the final mounted plates. I've just done up the nuts on these, so they're now solid, mounted, they're not moving anywhere. And that's it. That's all there is to mount a Toto plate to an inline UFS boot. Something I highly recommend for quad aggressive skating. Inline boot with a high cuff. I'll do that another video on that another time as to the reasons why. But this will stop you from rolling your ankle, and so it will stop you from spraining your ankle. Learn a way that the low cut boots will just roll straight over if you jump high or land awkward. I know a lot of people that have really bad ankles from skating low cut boots in the skate park. We use them for derby because we have to, but they're still not a good idea for our ankle safety. In the park, there is no advantage to having a low cut boot, but there are a lot of advantages to having one that stops you from rolling your ankle over, so highly recommended. Toto plates are the only plate that I'm aware of that's made to mount to a boot like this without any massive modifications. I had to make a little bit of modification just because of the style of this boot and the way it works, because it has no sole plate. Normally you'd just have to cut these nubs off the sole plate with a knife, just because they sit a little bit higher than the sole plate itself, and the mounting block tends to wobble a little bit, so you just need to cut those down, just grind those down, they're easy. That's normally the only modification you need to make on most boots to mount these plates, which is much better than drilling your own holes, learning how to mount them, how to angle them. They're very much, buy them, stick them on a boot and go get skating. They are solid, they're a good wide truck. I'm using Bel Air wheels, by the way. These are 103A wheels, apparently. They're just really hard. I love them because in the skate park you want speed. Outdoor wheels, normally people say get soft wheels, and that's true when you're skating out in the street and you don't want to hit any branches. But when you're skating in the park, you want hard wheels for speed, otherwise you're making your life a lot harder than it needs to be. I go up to the hardest I can find because I love the ease of speed, but they have zero grip. Not that you need much grip in the skate park, and that's fine by me. Some people may want a slightly softer wheel, but something hard, you don't want to go super soft in a skate park. Super Reds bearings, just because they were cheap. I'm still reviewing. Dog, leave my things alone. I'm still reviewing which bearings I think are best. I mean, I've only skated 2 or 3 different kinds of bearings in my life, and I'd like to order some rock and rolls. They look fantastic. I'd love to buy some Swiss bearings to see how they compare. But I got Super Reds and they work well enough for me. I don't see any issues with those. I only got Super Reds because they were as cheap as Reds at the time. Otherwise I'd be skating Reds. I think they're just a fine bearing. Or Go bearings are another bearing that I tend to skate. So that's pretty much everything there is to talk about these plates for now. Good solid grind block. It comes flat, you wear it in quickly. Some people grind it down to make a curve, it's up to you. The trucks are slightly taller than the kingpins, so you grind the trucks, you shouldn't grind the kingpins too much. They're great for grinding. They're just made from the ground up to be fantastic quad plates for the skate park, and that is exactly what they are. So if you'd like some, then you can get hold of me on my page. I think most people know where my page is now. If not, follow the video, follow the link. I'm the guy. I'm the UK stockist for Toto plates. I've got about another 12 pairs left. They retail for £150 if anyone's interested in getting some. If you'd like to get some from the EU or America, then we have people that are closer to you, so give me a shout and I'll put you in touch with those people, because we want to pass on the biggest savings we can to the quad skaters of the world. The idea of this project was never to make a massive amount of money. just enough money to allow us to make new revisions of those Toto plates, and bigger ones and lighter ones. So if you're into quads and aggressive quad skating and you'd like to do it safely and with the best possible kit you can without having to go to a custom builder or have to learn how to mount skates and stuff yourself, which is still a great way to do it, but if you don't want to spend that time learning all those skills, then these are definitely the way to go. So give me a shout, and hopefully I'll see some fantastic videos of some more Toto plates in the near future. Good luck!